Hello everybody and welcome to 10 You Out Boxing, and tonight we're talking about Eubank against Groves. I know it's been a few days since the fight, but it's taken a few days for us to get our thoughts together because it was such a crazy fight. In the studio today we've got Stibbsy, and he'll be back later on with his own segment called Stibbs Looks Back. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Stibbs Looks Back.
Hello.
And Biggsy's here as well.
Hello,
to
everybody.
hit us up with his opinion on the fight.
Hello.
So boys, first thing I want to say is, Stibbsy, what did you think of the fight?
Well, I thought it was a great fight. Yeah, it was a good fight. Right?
But didn't you say to me the other day you thought it was pretty rubbish?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I thought...
Make your mind up, mate.
I thought... No, I was disappointed about a knockout. I thought one of them would get knocked out. Groves was amazing. He done his job. Like, he had a game plan.
Yeah,
he had a game plan. He stuck to it. Eubank's disappointing.
Okay. Biggsy, what did you think of the fight? And think about the question. What did you think of the fight? Not give me an analysis of the fight. So what did you think of the fight?
No, it was a good occasion. Liked it. Really good. But I was expecting a lot more. But yeah, good.
I was disappointed I didn't see Vinny in the crowd.
Vinny? Who's Vinny?
I was disappointed that I didn't see
Who's
him.
Vinny?
Oh yeah, who's Vinny? Yeah, who is he?
How dare you? How dare you talk like that about Vinny just because he's not here? Listen, Vinny's out at the moment. He's whining and dining the ladies out here. But hopefully he'll be back later on to give his opinion on it. So Stibbs, we'll go to a second question. What did you think of the actual fight? What happened in the fight? How Groves fought? How Eubank looked? You know, what was your overall assessment of the fight? Do you think Groves won it comfortably, or what's your assessment?
I think Groves won. I think Groves won most of the rounds, and he outboxed Eubanks. Yeah, it was good. I mean, at the end of the night, I was thinking, I'm a bit gutted that nobody got knocked out. And I wanted a war from a fan's point of view. I wanted it middle of the ring, bomb. But that didn't happen,
No, mate.
And Eubanks had his head down.
It's not war games, mate. It's not war games.
Yeah, no, Eubanks had his head down too much.
This is boxing. I mean, Biggs, what was your analysis of the fight? What did you think about the actual fight?
Well,
I thought Groves won it easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
The judges got it right for once.
Yeah, Stibbs pretty much said most of it.
Were you surprised by what happened? I mean...
I was expecting a lot more from Eubank. I was expecting him to, come out and get him.
But why were you expecting him to come out and do that? What made you think that Eubank was going to come out and get Groves?
What about what his dad was saying about it? He should be protected. The other opponent should be protected from him.
But it ended up the other way round nearly, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what did you think of that?
That was a bit of a laugh in his face. After that,
I mean, what did you think, Stibbs, to that kind of whole,
it's just
my superhero son's going to destroy...
No, it's all marketing, innit, for the Eubanks brand.
I mean,
making them look good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not Eubank haters. In fact, we appreciate Eubank. We like Eubank, and also we followed his old man back in the day. We're slightly from the older school, so we got no problem with Eubank. But let's keep it real.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a great fight. My opinion on it. Great fight, great night. We sat here and watched it together. Vinny went and saw it live, but we sat here and watched it, and we had a great time, didn't we, boys? Got excited, got hyped up.
I can't believe Groves bust his shoulder though, and he held on for 2 minutes. He held on the last round for 2 minutes.
Well, that's the measure of the man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the measure of the man.
He didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, he knew what to do because he knew.
And Eubank still couldn't get him with one arm.
He knew Eubank was going to go for him in the last round.
Mate, the reason you didn't know it at the time is because, number one, you didn't bring your spectacles. So you're like Mr. Magoo about that. Remember him?
I've got them.
So you didn't bring your spectacles, and the other thing was the commentators missed it. What's going on with commentators, people nowadays? Am I the only one that's thinking this?
Yeah, but
there seems to be a lot more bias with commentators nowadays, and they seem to miss a lot of key bits. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, Biggs.
I missed that the other night. What did you notice about them? So I didn't notice them.
Notice what?
The commentators bias.
No, I didn't notice them being biased the other night, but I noticed them missing the Eubank shoulder thing, like what you just said.
But what I'm saying is, that at the end when the ref goes out with his arm, if he put his arm up, you go wouldn't you? But he just he had both his arms up. I don't know.
Who did? Groves didn't have both his arms up.
There was a picture of him in paper.
Well, I don't know. I rewatched the fight. I rewatched the fight, and I didn't see Groves have his. He had one arm up, which was his good arm.
Right.
And I watched every single bit of footage on that cam, and he only had one arm up. So you're either making it up, Sunshine.
No, mate, I'm saying no. I was joking.
Don't be making stuff up on my show, Sunshine.
When the ref goes at the end of the fight, he lifts his arm up, innit?
Touching me.
No, I don't. Mate, let's think about it. Hold on, let's think about it. He was standing on the right side of the ref.
Listen.
So the ref would have lifted up
I just made a joke, innit?
his left arm. You're right, but
I just made a joke. I said, imagine if the ref went at Action Groves and put his arm up and goes,
oh, I thought you said he actually did do that.
I made a joke.
But you said he was on camera, didn't he?
No, I said, imagine if the
you said
ref...
you saw it in the newspaper.
There is a picture of his arm up in the paper.
Yeah, which arm though, mate? He only hurt one of them.
Wow. But he didn't...
Was it both arms?
Look,
mate, let's get off the arm bit, right? The man hurt his shoulder.
Did he hurt his leg as well?
Did he hurt his leg? Was he on one? Was he hopping as well?
No.
I'm sure you can.
I'll show you the picture. I'll bring you the paper next time, and I'll show you.
Yeah, you bring that picture in, mate. So I don't think that exists. If any of our viewers out there have got that article or that picture, please send it in.
Actually, it might not be when he's dislocated shot. It might well have been before.
Will yes.
Well, there you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
His arm up.
Media outlets do source pictures.
Yeah, but I made a joke initially. I said, imagine if the ref went like that, and he went, ah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's a good joke. Good joke, mate.
Yeah.
Good joke. We'll move on from that.
Yeah.
So,
what do you think? What do you think Eubank's going to do next?
What I think Eubank's going to do next? Eubank's going to go down to middleweight and try and fight Truax, which I don't think is going to happen. And to be honest, like, Truax ain't the greatest fighter out there, but in that fight where he won, he fought okay, you know. He was on it during that fight. He was catching De Gale. He was hurting him. He was more effective than De Gale. So to put Eubank up against Truax, it's not a foregone conclusion that Eubanks is going to blast Truax out either, especially after seeing what he done against Groves. So yeah, I don't think he'll get that fight anyway, because I think De Gale's got a rematch clause on that one. Whether that happens, I don't know. You know what boxing's like, politics, but we're going to have to wait and see. But Eubank, he's got to go down to middle, and who's he going to fight? Who knows? You know, I don't know at this stage. I don't think he's done himself any favours. I think in hindsight, you know, I do think the Eubanks are probably thinking, you know what, we styled this all wrong. You know what I mean? If we would have come in a little bit more...
Just a bit.
If we'd have come in from the beginning with a little bit more of a humble attitude, then things wouldn't be so difficult to turn around. But when you play the bad guy, you play the villain, you're very boastful, you know, it's in the Eubanks blood to be like that, but you know, it makes boxing richer to have characters like that in it. But if it goes wrong, obviously it don't look very good. You know, Nazim was the same. Prince Nazim was exactly the same. He, you know, everybody loved his predictions, and most of them came true. He played that role perfectly until he got beaten by Barrera, and it all come crashing down. You
Prince
know,
Nazim, man.
but we love Nazim, and he was brilliant the other day.
Guys, a bit harsh, really.
Guys, what about the interview the other day? What do you think to that? Was that funny or what?
Funny,
That was.
He was going, listen.
That was venomous.
Listen. He hasn't got the talent. He just hasn't got the talent yet. Listen. It's just not happening right now. He should quit while he's ahead.
Listen, Jude. I know this is going to upset you, Jude. I know you don't want to hear this, baby. I know you don't want to hear this, but you should have broke him up. No, that was great. You know, I love nights like that, because not only
it's a good night, man.
We get a great build up.
Yeah.
We get a great build up. We get a great fight, I thought.
Yeah.
And also we get a bit of funny comedy at the end of it, when Nazim just killing it and keeping it real. I don't think ITV would have been too happy about that, being Eubanks one kind of fights for them, but yeah, I just thought that was quite interesting. So overall, I mean, where do you see like Eubank going after this, boys? Do you think he's going to go anywhere? Maybe home?
I've got no idea. Yeah, go home.
Maybe to go and throw the trainer up.
Who's he going to scrap on next?
Maybe he could what?
Throw the trainer up.
Surely
throw the trainer up.
Well, he might throw up, yeah.
Oh,
he
But
lost
I
his
think
belt,
he needs
didn't
one, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
he lost his belt, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost his belt. Yeah, he lost his belt. But mate, a lot of people.
Yeah, what is that belt?
Yeah,
Well,
it's not.
Look,
People say it's not recognised as a decent belt. You know what? At the end of the day, if you own that belt, you're still going to be proud of that belt.
World champion.
Yeah, you're going to be proud of it. But it's true. I think one of the commentators said at the end of the fight, that's the difference between the two belts. That's the difference in levels. Do you know what I mean? And it was apparent. I mean, I did say to Vince that that there's a lot of hype with Eubank, and you know Vince kind of said that, you know, he's ferocious, he's a ferocious fighter. Look at him on the pads, look at the way he punches, look at him in sparring. And all I kept thinking was, in sparring he was fighting slow guys, in sparring he's doing all the attacking, in sparring I can't see anybody else punching him and taking him to deep levels. I couldn't see any of that. So for me, you know, I could put Stibbs in the ring and pound away at him and everyone will go, wow, you're amazing. Do you know what I mean? But that's not how it works. When you get into a fight, it's a different matter. You know, I'll get into a fight, Stibbs will drink his spinach like Popeye and club me to death. You know what I mean? That can happen.
Club a leg.
So I did see that in sparring. I did see that Eubank wasn't, you know, he wasn't going to depths with his sparring. He looked like he had it all his own way. His old man's jumping in, which kind of adds fuel to the fire of your amazing son. You know, I kind of saw that. I looked at his record as well. The only time he stepped up, be it a long time ago, was a bit against Billy Joe. And what happened in that fight, he didn't quite have the magic to win that fight and pull it off. And he's kind of done the same again. And I was trying to say to Vince, look Vince, Groves is a good fighter, right? Groves is a sharp fighter. If you look at Groves, every other fighter that's fought Eubank, they get in the ring, they don't look as sharp. Like, you've got to be mentally sharp the minute you step in that ring with your feints. You know what I mean? You've got to be ready to dive in, duck out. Now Groves, as soon as that fight started, he was on it. He took a wide leg stance. He looked really sharp. He was popping out the left hand, and he was waiting to throw that right hand every time Eubanks come in. And of course, Eubanks couldn't cope with that, and every time he came in, he was getting tied up, which was the perfect tactics from Groves. And I'm quite surprised that, did they have a plan A? Did the Eubanks have a plan A? I don't think they did. I think Eubank feels like he could go in and kind of adapt to the fight at the time. That's what I feel his plan is. It's just go in and adapt to whatever's happening at the time. And of course he could do that, and he couldn't find a way in. So when he did come in, his head was down, he's throwing wild punches, and Groves to me looked really, really comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, boys?
Yeah.
Eubank didn't use the cut eye excuse or anything, did he?
No, the cut was.
Well, yeah, he did actually. Well, he said the blood was pouring into his eye, and he said, and it affected him and changed his whole style of fighting. So yeah, he did, Vix. Yeah. I don't know if you watched the post-fight. No, you didn't watch it. Right. Well, yeah, he did say that. Yeah, he said, look, at the post-fight conference. Well, it's going to affect your eye, mate. A cut above the eye is going to affect the eye. There's no doubt about it. Is it going to affect your attitude during a fight? Possibly, yeah, because
make you more,
especially if you've never had it before. First time you got a big cut on your eye, it's going to affect you. You're going to be thinking about that cut. You're going to be changing the way you move to avoid punches to that cut. You're going to be trying to block that cut at times, as well as also feeling quite frustrated that you've got to come forward and try and win the fight somehow. So I think it definitely affects you. But what Eubank was saying was, you know, George Groves headbutted me, but I've seen the footage, and basically Eubank's come in with his head down, kind of rocked with Groves, and they've just connected heads. There was no Groves doing that on purpose. It just happened the way it was.
No way.
It's a boxing incident.
Yeah, it was just one of those incidents that happens to most people in their boxing careers, you know, and it's quite rare that it actually does get stopped on a cut, and it's quite rare that, you know, the fight will get awarded to a certain person, because there's different rules, isn't there, for different governing bodies.
See, the ref's shirt, that was covered in blood. It was like white, he had a white shirt on, and it was just pure, like a butcher.
Mate, that's boxing, that's what happens. You know, they're not in there playing patty cakes.
Surely he could have changed his shirt.
Well, what, in the middle of the fight? Excuse me, Betty, can you grab us another shirt out of the dry wash?
So he's rang the bell in around. He could have
just run off and stripped off and put on a new one.
A spare shirt, didn't he?
Mate.
Like a butcher.
Mate, a ref's shirt is like the map of the fight. You know what I mean? If it's covered in blood, it's covered in sweat. You know, you can read the ref basically and see what happened during the fight. You can't be taking that off and wearing it. What do you want to put a tie on and a shirt on and do his hair again in between rounds? It's like the glamour show, Stibbs. This is boxing. Pure unadulterated boxing. So,
bloody fire.
I'm glad you're here, Stibbs, anyway, because we're getting to that point right now. Oh, actually, before we get to that point, I did say earlier on that Vince was out at the moment.
Where is he?
I don't know if he's out with the ladies or he's out. Or he might be at pool practice or javelin practice or something like that. But should we give him a quick call and see if he's going to turn up at something?
Yeah, why not?
Let's try him. I don't know.
He's probably on the black.
Well, let's have a little try and see.
On the black. He's on the black, isn't he? He's playing pool.
Well, I might get hold of him. Let's see. Come on, Vince. Hello, mate. You all right?
Hello?
Hello, mate. It's Tin You Out.
Oh, you know, how you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. I've got the boys here with me. Say hello, boys.
Hi, Vinny.
You all right, mate? What's going on? Where are you?
I'm in Devon, mate.
Where is he?
I'm in Devon.
Are you?
Devon.
Listen, are you coming back for the show tonight, or?
Depends what time I get back from Devon, mate.
All right, mate. Well, listen.
I've got to catch a plane, ain't I?
Well, I suggest you get the old jet out of the garage, mate, and get down in.
Yeah, I'll be there. It might take a little bit longer because it's raining, mate. I can't see.
All right, mate. Well, listen. We're talking about the eubank fight. So being you were there, we'd love to hear your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, mate. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Oh, all right, mate. We'll see you in a bit. Say bye, boys.
See ya.
Bye.
See you later, mate. See you in a bit.
But
So that was Vinny, boys. Yeah, he's where did he say he was?
Devon.
He's such a little liar, isn't he? Weren't he? Is he in Devon? I'm sure he was up
Devon
the road.
Girards.
I'm sure he was up the road playing pool. Yeah,
I'm sure
Devon
he was
Girards,
Devon
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so hopefully Vince will pop back and give us his opinion on what happened on the fight, and he was there as well, so he saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
We see pictures of it. It was quite far away.
Yeah, what he showed you some pictures, didn't
Yeah, and he
Oh, it was spoiled the anti-climax. Do you know what I mean?
We've already experienced.
He's videoing the crowd.
Yeah, we don't want to hear, mate. We don't want you to tell us about his experience. We want to hear about his experience. Don't jump in for him,
He
mate.
said there were scraps in the crowd.
Yeah, well, listen, mate. We don't want, mate.
yeah.
You're spoiling it all right now. Just. Right, let's get back to our new segment on the show, and I think it's Stibbs' turn to take us back.
Right, thank you. Right, nice one. Right, now.
Stibbs goes back further than anyone, further than you and me. Stibbs goes back. Is his story gone?
Right, now, I'm taking you back to 1986.
96.
86.
Beautiful.
Undisputed welterweight.
World Cup year.
It was the undisputed welterweight fight.
World Cup year.
World Cup year.
Have you got your hearing aid in?
Yeah,
Right, okay, all right. Go on.
Yeah, Lloyd Hunnigan against Donald Curry.
Oh, it sounds like a feast.
Yeah. But at the time, Donald Curry at the time, Donald Curry was considered the best pound for pound fighter.
Oh, God. Yeah, God.
You know, so who's the best pound for pound?
This is your mate. Don't ask me questions. This is your time. This is your time to shine. This is your
Mayweather.
Okay. Yeah.
And Lloyd Hunnigan came in, and it was considered a mismatch because he was considered not good enough to fight the great Donald Curry. But what they failed to see is that 2 weeks before the fight, Donald Curry was 15 pounds overweight. I think his dad was ill. He had lots of problems. So he come down and he just made the weight in. And basically, of course, all the critics were saying he left it in the gym. He left all of his strength. He left all of his.
What in the gym? His takeaway.
Yeah, he just left it. And basically, Hunnigan battered him. Hunnigan came in, battered him in 6 rounds.
Covered him in honey, did he?
Then he battered him.
Curry had 20 stitches. Right?
Sorry, mate, go on.
Curry had 20 stitches. Hunnigan's come in and battered him. And people couldn't believe it.
Right.
People couldn't believe it. And this is a man he's had 17 defences.
Yeah, do you know what? I remember the fight, actually. I watched it. Great fight.
He had
Great
8
fight.
defences of his WBA welterweight.
Yeah.
He had 7 defences of his WB welterweight, and he had 2 defences of his IBF.
Wow, you're certainly on point tonight with the facts.
And Hunnigan won the lot.
He won the honey pot, basically.
And he's 146 pounds. So what's that? That's Ricky Hatton weight. What's 146 pounds? Ricky Hatton, Mayweather.
Ricky Hatton.
Mate,
that's his hero. He loves Hatton.
It's 10 stone 6. So who's what? Yeah, I'm just trying to. Who's the equivalent?
don't know, mate. I'm still confused about all the euro prices.
Yeah.
All those weights. I don't know,
I
mate.
don't know.
I just go on stone. So.
It was considered the biggest
inches?
upset of 1986 in boxing, anyway. You know, it was an upset. And Hunnigan was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Because if he wasn't 15 pounds overweight 2 weeks before, he might not have won. And he had so many problems at that time, Donald Kay, and that was the end of another great chap.
Yeah, it was an amazing fight. I remember the fight. It was an amazing fight.
It was just,
he weren't expected to do anything, and he went over there and he totally ripped it up over there. Beat the great man, and yeah, it was a great win for him. Yeah,
it was just again, and I remember it as a kid. Well, I was 18 then, but I just remember it thinking, wow, this unknown. And I'd heard of Lloyd Hunnigan, you know, he weren't like a bum, but when he put the hot, you know what I'm saying?
A bum.
You weren't a bum.
Well, you know what I'm saying? He weren't no bum, nobody gave him a chance.
No, they
like
didn't.
when Bruno fought Tyson. Nobody gave Bruno a chance. Bruno
he didn't do anything, mate.
No, but Bruno nearly knocked him out.
He didn't nearly knock him out, mate. Listen. I'm going to start. Look, I love Bruno.
Yeah.
I'm Bruno's #1 fan, right? But let's keep it real, yeah. Bruno caught Tyson with a punch.
Yeah, right.
A punch.
Caught him.
And what happened? Everybody's like, he's nearly knocked him out. Oh, he's rocked Tyson. Tyson was hurt. What did Tyson say afterwards?
It didn't hurt me, man. It didn't hurt me, man. I didn't feel nothing from Van Bruno, man.
Tyson went,
You know what I mean?
It was like I didn't feel nothing, man.
he was stop.
Mate, that's Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee wasn't at the fight. Whoa, stay out of this, man. Stay out of this. So anyway, boys, I reckon. Oh, who's that? Don't tell me the Vince has turned up. Guys, someone get the door. Vince is here.
Oh, hello, Vinny.
Hello, mate.
Alright, mate, how you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, Vince is back to the show.
I'm here, mate, finally.
Where's Stibbsy?
Stibbs has gone home, mate. Because basically what happened was, I was flying around your house and I could hear him and how boring he sounded with his back in time stuff.
Mate, people love that.
I know they do. But I
bit.
just thought I'd let him have his bit on his own. Do you know what I mean? And I'd fly around a little bit longer. And I've just come in, and he's on his way out, mate. So he's gone home.
Well, if it's his time to go, mate, it's his time to go. We're glad you're here.
I know, I'm glad to be here, mate. Finally.
So listen, let's talk about let's talk about eubank. Tell us a little bit about what it was like going to the fight, what the experience was like. You know, how did it feel? Was it exciting? Was it a good atmosphere? Just fill us in, mate.
Well, to be honest, mate, I can't really remember much after I got off the train. But no, on a serious note, you know, we all had a great time. We had a few beers.
Yeah.
But when we got into the arena, you know, it was a great view. Do you know what I mean? We were a little bit high, but you could see down at them, you know, and you could see all the fights of some great.
How many people were there? How many people?
It was 21,000.
Loads, yeah.
That's what it holds, 21,000. So there was a lot of people. The atmosphere was amazing, you know.
And you got an okay view, did you?
Yeah, saw the whole fight. Obviously, a little bit too far to see him get cut.
Yeah.
Obviously, but then by the end of the
told you, mate, you should have got them binoculars.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know. You know, we got searched as we went in, so I don't know if you allowed them in or
tight
not.
security at these events.
Yeah.
So you got quite a good view of the fight. How did you read the fight from where you watched it? Because on TV it looked like Groves kind of dominated the entire fight. Eubank had his little pocket moments, but they weren't frequent.
From what I see, to me it looked like Groves had the great game plan. You know, and basically he'd fight on the back foot. Do you know what I mean? Eubank was throwing punches, throwing air punches, not hitting him.
Yeah.
And Groves was jabbing him and countering him. You know, and countering shots on him, catching him quite a lot.
So beforehand, you kind of liked Eubank, and I know you sort of thought he might. Yeah, it's possible he could win it. I mean, so you.
At the end of the day, I thought at some occasions, from what it felt like, you know, when Eubank got him a few times, the crowd went a bit nuts, but then Groves would just diffuse it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then he'd go back to his normal boxing skills.
Yeah, he sort of looked comfortable.
Do you know what I
to
mean?
me
He didn't
in
look
there.
like he was in trouble ever.
No,
you know.
no.
And Eubank just looked very immature, mate. It was like a boy v man. Do you know what I mean? Groves is he is a fighter that's got a lot of experience when it comes to world championship
definitely.
boxing.
I mean, that's what I thought, beforehand.
And, I was just blinded by Eubank obviously hitting pads and making weird noises while he hit them. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, mate, as much as I think Eubank is a good fighter, he's not a good boxer, is he?
Yeah, do you know what? It reminds me a little bit of Amir Khan, right? He's another fighter whose technique looks great. He looks good in the ring. He throws a lot of punches, but they just seem to bounce off the opponent. Like, he hasn't got that concussive power.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a bit of Eubank. Eubank's a bit similar.
Like, Eubank did fight Groves and he was a weight above him, so you can't really use too much of power into that, because he was never going to have more power than Groves, because he's a natural super middleweight.
Yeah, I think Groves.
So, Groves was a stone heavier on the night.
Yeah, he rehydrated.
You know what I mean? That's an extra stone in one night, in one day. It's like, and that's what I'm saying. Even though Eubank weighed heavier the day before, look what happened on the fight night.
But I mean, obviously that would have some sort of effect on the fight. How big we don't know. But you can't sort of, for me, I just think Groves either way. His tactics and the way he fought,
definitely.
That was the main contributor.
And
to
I think
fight.
it helped that he had someone in the corner as well, mate. Do you know what I mean? Eubank, all he was doing was just sitting in his corner round after round. He weren't getting told what to do.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think to all that? What do you think to the fact that Eubank wrapped his own hands?
Yeah,
Eubank trained himself. Eubank.
I think it's quite arrogant. I think it's quite an arrogant thing to do. Someone that thinks he's that good, he doesn't need anyone but himself.
Yeah.
And that's wrong, isn't it? No one trained himself.
Well, the problem is, because he's lost, people are saying, that's wrong. If he would have won, people would have been saying, look, this guy's changing the game.
This guy's amazing. This guy's the first man to train himself.
He trains himself. He's unbelievable.
Exactly. He's got his own diet himself. All this
could so easily have gone the other way if his boxing skills were up to George Groves' skills, but
he's not even got the pedigree, has he? As in like in his amateur days, he actually went to America to become. He wasn't in the British. Amateurs.
That's right. He went
to America and then turned professional.
Yeah.
So he skipped all the amateurs.
Yeah.
So for instance, like use Amir Khan. Amir Khan was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So he was he's been trained, to be a boxer. I don't know what Eubank was doing.
Did you get to see who was it? Seb Eubank. Did you actually get to see that fight?
We didn't see that fight. Do you know what? I might have seen that fight, but to be honest, like there was some fights in the ring, and when you get there at like 7:30, there's not actually that many people sitting down, so it's quite empty.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere isn't actually that great at that point, obviously. So we're sort of just like, I was sort of just chatting to the people in the crowd, asking who they thought was going to win. And we had a bit of banter. Do you know what I mean?
And Stibbs let slip earlier a little bit about a bit of crowd trouble or something.
Yeah, there was just before the actual Eubank fight. I took a video footage on the actual lower stand. There was, I don't know what was going on, but basically the stewards were throwing up people. There's bottles being thrown.
Yeah, I see. It was. It wasn't just one or two. It was about 10,
proper
10
like
20 people
and
involved.
It happened more than one occasion.
Right.
Like even the crowd. I mean, it was mainly us lot that was sitting up out the way that were like cheering it on a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, because obviously we're out the way. But I mean,
you're drunken animals, basically.
Yeah, if you were down there, do you know what I mean? It might have been a bit more scary.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? See that.
But that quietened down quickly, did it?
Yeah, it was diffused quite quickly.
And what was like the ring walks like? Was it?
The ring walks were good, man. When Eubank got on that, Eubank was on that little stage thing, and all the light shined on him.
Yeah.
With his Union Jack towel on and that. Do you know what I mean? He looked good. Do you know what I mean? But then, it's all for show, isn't it?
Well, I mean, what's it?
It was a good show, I thought.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The fight didn't live up to its expectations.
But did you still enjoy it though?
I enjoyed the experience and I enjoyed the fight. The atmosphere was brilliant. You really got into the fight, but it was just missing something to for it to properly kick off.
Yeah, do you know what?
Do you know what I mean? There weren't enough action.
But the thing is with boxing, it's like you've got to learn to appreciate.
It's more of a game of chess rather.
Yeah, but do you know what? That's the art of boxing,
Yeah.
and you're not going to get every fight that's going to be a toe-to-toe Mike Tyson slug out.
But that's what I like boxing. I like heavyweight boxing.
Yeah.
Going like toe-to-toe.
Yes, mate, that's what every fan likes. But the thing is, it's like football. You watch a game of football, and you'll see, like, you know, how many games of football do you watch where it don't blow up and it's a bit of a stale game or a draw? It's the same with boxing. Like, for me, I just think you get a bit more excitement out of boxing. Even on a fight that's not the most amazing fight, you still get to see movement. You still get to see some sort of drama. You know, I just love boxing anyway. So I still appreciated the fight the other day. I've watched it a couple of times since. And
I was glad to be there. Do you know what I mean? It's like history. Do you know what I mean? That fight, you know, I don't know how many people watched it, but I'm sure that quite a lot of Britain watched that fight.
And what do you think? I mean? What do you think about the whole sort of Eubank at the post press conference? I thought it was slightly arrogant, whether it was done in jest or not. But when he asked Kale Salmon, when they asked about him going in the final, you know, one of the press asked whether Eubank would step up and go in the final, and Kale said, you know, he looked a bit uncomfortable and kind of said he'll be on the list. To which Eubank replied, "I better be at the top of the list." It was like, well, why should he be at the top of the list for that? If anything, shouldn't it be the two that George Groves has beaten, slugging it out? So it'd be Eubank against Cox.
Yeah, but it just depends on the thing. You heard the news today, haven't you?
No, tell me, mate. I've been busy all day.
The breaking news today is, Callum Smith was fighting in the other semi-final.
Yeah.
Well, he's supposed to be fighting someone called Bramer.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and Bramer's pulled out the fight today.
Exclusive!
He's pulled out the fight today, and basically because he's had a bad virus.
Don't tell me Eubank's stepping in.
No, so the replacement, I don't know his name, but he's a 7-time champion kickboxer. World champion kickboxer.
Oh, here we go.
And he's from Holland.
Here we go.
But I don't know his name, but I mean, if someone can tell me what his name is, guys.
Listen, how does this work out? Like, how do they pull in some kickboxer to fight
I don't
at that
know.
stage?
I don't know why, but obviously, you know, I think with the Super Series, they can't rearrange the dates. Like, for instance, if Bramer's pulled out, and in another scenario, they'd give him another 3 or 4 months to recover and then fight him then.
The thing is,
but this has to be done.
But mate, you know what?
So
I'd rather see things postponed with the right people in it than bringing in kickboxers or judo experts and keeping the same date. We don't, you know, if we have to wait a bit longer for the proper fight, I'd rather do that. It just seems the whole World Boxing Series, it's quite strange, because Kale said the other day that, you know, he'll put his recommendation forward, i.e. as in Eubank, and then the board will choose who it will be. I just think, is that plan B? I mean, is that plan B? If someone falls out, they just go, oh, who do we favour? Oh, let's just choose him.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't even in the
based on what
series. I don't even know why he's got in there.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like,
I don't get it, but you know, it's bound to have happened. You know, like boxing does take it out of you. You know, they've had 2 fights.
Yeah,
you know, and now look at Groves. Groves has dislocated his shoulder.
That's the only problem with this Super Series.
Because he's fought too much in a short space of time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, you know, and then, you know, for instance, in the other one, Bramer's had a fight, and now he's got the flu, so he can't fight in semi-final.
Crazy.
You know, so it's just a bit.
Yeah.
It was a good idea, and I'm glad that I was at the actual main fight. Eubank Groves. Yeah. There ain't going to be a better fight in the Super Series.
So, you think, even though we've got this kickboxer coming in now, and all this stuff that's happening, and you know whether Groves will be injury free or not, and all this, do you think that we will see Groves against Smith in the final?
If they can postpone it, then yes. You know.
What, do you think it's under threat then? This might not even happen in the end, or?
No, I think if Groves can't fight, then I think it'll either be Eubank or someone else fighting Smith in the final.
Yeah, but I don't see why Eubank. Why should it be Eubank?
Well, no, I'm not saying it will be Eubank. I'm saying it could be Eubank, or it could be Cox.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They should battle it out.
Eubank got into the semi-final, so it can't really be Cox, because he was in the quarter-final.
Yeah, do you know what?
So that's why it'd be either Eubank or it'll be Bramer, but Bramer won't because he hasn't even fought in the semi-final.
Yes,
so the only other person it can be is Eubank.
The decision will be made on who generates the most money, and it'll probably be Eubank, which I think would be a little bit.
It'll be a bit of a joke.
Make a bit of a mockery of the whole thing.
Rejects. It's like he's going to win the plate competition. It's like when you get knocked out of like an FA Cup.
And the worst thing is, Eubank will probably kind of like look at it like he won the Super Series, even if he didn't fight George. Do you know what I mean?
It would just be. I won't even watch it. Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? One of them ones. What's the point? Do you know what I mean? We're going to watch a loser try and win the final.
Yeah. It's
know,
not right.
It's not right.
It'd be interesting. They've got a lot to think about. You know, whether they've got sort of contingency plans in place to deal with all this drama. I don't know.
The whole Super Series would be called a sham if that happens.
Yeah.
Because it's not even the outcome what it's supposed to be.
And according to this news you've just given us today, I mean it's unravelling, isn't it?
Yeah, that is news, guys. Just to let you know.
Exclusive from Vincent. Yeah. So Groves won. Eubank, where does he go now?
Where does Eubank go now? Well, back to KFC probably.
KFC.
You know what I mean? Where he used to work as a child.
Yeah.
And he still acts like a child.
I mean, Naz was very critical of him. I mean, you know, Duke McKenzie was saying, look, you know, with the right trainer and with the right people around him, he can come back just as strong as ever. It's a bit of a PC sort of cliched answer.
Naz is just being Naz though, isn't he?
But Naz was being, I think Naz was equally being a bit, you know, the other way,
Naz
a bit too much the other
Naz
way.
Has never liked Eubank, has he? Really?
No, he hasn't. But do you think like he can come back and be something special and be a world force, or is Naz right on this?
The only thing he can do really is go back down to middleweight, and fight someone, for instance, like you know, Canelo or Golovkin, not straight away, but that's his only, you know, because at the end of the day, Golovkins and Canelo, they can fight all these people and that, but if you saw Golovkin against Eubank, you'd want to watch it, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah, I would have watched that. Yeah, I definitely would have watched that.
Still be interested in that fight. So Eubank's still like a brand. He's still like someone that people are interested in.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think that he's just got to go and have maybe a comeback fight against someone that's reasonable, and then have another go.
And
at
do
the
you know
world
what?
title.
It depends how you look at things as well, because you could look at it like, well, he hasn't done himself any favours in the ring as a fighter. If anything, people are going to want to fight him more because they think he's a bit of a novice. I mean, some of those jabs and touches that Groves gave him when he put him off balance made him look a bit silly, and someone like Golovkin might think, well, I'll fight this guy. So it might actually have the opposite effect. I know he's going to have to build up again. He's not going to get them fights. No. He's going to have to do something.
He's going to have warm-up fights again. But
What about this Truax? What about this Truax business? He said he wants to trade
Truax is a super middleweight again.
Yeah.
So you know, and De Gale's got the rematch clause.
Yeah, I mean.
So you know that's going to happen first, regardless. If De Gale wins, then I can see De Gale wanting to fight Groves again for the you know.
But
for
do you
the
know what?
unification fight.
Do you know what? I didn't really want De Gale to get that rematch with Truax. So I don't think he deserved that rematch. I mean, obviously, if they got a clause in there, he's going to get the rematch. But in general, could you imagine if he didn't get that rematch, Truax moved on to someone else, and guess what we got? We've got Chris Eubank, who's kind of let everybody down with all this talk and this hype and didn't really do what he was supposed to do. You've got James De Gale, very similar, who bigged himself up against Truax. He's going to do this. He's the best in the world. Blah blah blah. We've got two of them. They could have fought each other, couldn't they? That would have been brilliant, wouldn't it, at this stage to have James De Gale fighting Eubank, and the loser's kind of.
Yeah, no, but from an interview with Frank Warren the other day, he was saying that Eubank in the IBF rankings, he's not even in the top
I know. Do you know what?
20.
I saw that.
Not even in the top 20 or
True,
something.
yeah, I saw it.
So if Truax doesn't fight De Gale, he's going to fight again someone that's much higher in the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, is the Truax fight? Is that a definite thing happening next?
Well, it's not definite because no one's even seen James De Gale. He's hibernating. I don't know. I mean, he's not even spoken on the radio. Nothing.
He's still hiding in the mountains. Yeah,
I don't know. So. You know, who knows what James the Gale's going to do.
I bet there'll
no, I don't even rate James
talking
Gale,
going.
mate. James Gale, he ain't a fighter that people, I don't know, people rant and rave about how good he is in the gym and sparring. But again, we saw the sparring, mate. It doesn't mean nothing. When you get in that proper ring, it's a different ball game.
It's a completely different ball game.
You know, you start to choke, or you start to lose your bottle a little bit, or you start to get worried and panicky. You know, and
take a few shots, don't like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, Vince, it's getting to that time, mate. So I think we're gonna have to call it a night.
Yeah, it's been great to be back on the show.
Yeah, mate, I'm glad you turned up and spoke some sense. Because them boys earlier, right? I ain't got a clue what they're on about. No, I ain't got a clue what they're talking about. Especially that Stibbsy guy.
Bless his eye. He's got a good art.
He's got a good art, but you know what? We might have to have a little look at his contract, mate, and see. Just have a look at what the small print says, because I can't remember.
Was he wearing his kilt again today?
No, he weren't wearing his kilt, but I can't remember how did he get his own segment. I don't know how that happened, but
he did sort of beg us, didn't he?
I'll tell you what, mate. We'll have a meeting about it. We'll review it, and we'll see what happens. But
if he bores me any more, though, then I might have to. Think again.
But mate, he does
make another show.
But I do quite like his stories. Actually, I do quite like him.
They actually, when I get home, because obviously I find it really difficult to sleep at night. So before I go to bed, I just put his little segment on. And
it's like a little bedtime story.
Tucks me right up in bed. Little beddy.
There you go, Stibbs. There you go, mate. If you've gone home and you're listening, you tuck Vinny up to bed every single night with your velvet tones. So thanks a lot for Stibbs and Looks Back. Check it out next time, guys. Anyway, we've got to say goodbye. Thanks for listening, people. I want to say hello to all the subscribers. We know who you all are.
Please
I want to say also hello to Peter Johnson, who subscribed today. So, Yes, Peter. So guys, tune in next time. Subscribe, comment, whatever you like, and we'll catch you all next time.
Laters.